Don't take offense at this. It's not meant to be offensive. It's all good fun. My girlfriend works in mobile ad sales. So I've been in mobile user acquisition for 5 years, and I've been pitched a lot of times, and I've dealt with a lot of salespeople, and I think I've picked up the craft. So what I want to do today is give a mobile ad sales 101 sales class seminar. So if anybody's thinking about moving industries, take note. So I think in general when people hear the word sales, they associate that with certain skills and traits like relationship management, communication, time management, persuasiveness, having an engaging and charismatic personality, empathy. Mobile ad sales don't require any of that. Basically, mobile ad sales are a war. And it's a specific type of war. It's a war of attrition. Except instead of bullets and bombs, your weapon is email. You are trying to conquer the budgets of your victims, and you will take no prisoners. The first weapon in your arsenal is the unsolicited phone call. Lots of people leave their phone numbers in their email signatures, and it's a lot harder for someone to say no on the phone. And if UA managers didn't want you calling them out of the blue, why would they give you their phone numbers in their emails? The next weapon is the LinkedIn message. Some people think that LinkedIn is a place to connect in a professional capacity with colleagues that they've met in person. But those people are wrong. LinkedIn is a place to do sales. Skype is also a great place to sell because most reasonable people would never expect someone they've never met before to send them a connection request. In fact, many people might consider it clinically insane to add someone as a Skype connection without having ever met them or agreed to talk in advance. Those people are wrong. To be successful at your job, you need to learn all of the industry buzzwords. Don't worry, you won't be expected to use them in a coherent sentence. You just need to be able to recall them in conversation so that people see you as an industry expert. For instance, you might ask a UA manager how heavy their LTV is, or what color CPI they're paying. It's critically important that in every email you ever send to a prospective client, you mention that you're working with Supercell. No, you can say that without actually working with Supercell. You should be really aggressive and rude if people don't respond to your emails. UA managers like to play hard to get, and they also like people who aren't afraid to offend them. Don't worry, you can't possibly send too many emails or be too bellicose with a UA manager. They owe you their business, and they know it. The best place to reach potential clients is at conferences. This is where the big budgets are spent. UA managers don't need to test your ad network's traffic or understand how your API works. They just want to close deals over coffee. But keep one thing in mind. Although you're in sales, you should never ever treat a potential client to lunch or even a coffee. Make them pay for it. What are they going to spend all that VC cash on anyway? Sometimes at conferences, UA managers like to pretend they're having interesting conversations with former colleagues and friends. But they're not. They're just killing time before talking to you. Feel free to interrupt conversations at will and corner people at conferences. UA managers are shy and don't know how to introduce themselves. They need you to be aggressive. Once you've successfully cornered a UA manager at a conference and closed a deal, it's time to get down to brass tacks. Test budget. Don't wait for the UA manager to agree to anything. Just send them an IO with a patently ridiculous suggestion for an initial test. Something in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. Once the IO is signed, it's time to mention to the UA manager for the first time that they have to integrate an SDK into their app before you can run the campaign. This is no problem. Adding an SDK takes only 3 lines of code. Piece of cake. Now that you're running their campaign, it's time to cut some corners. You know how the UA manager mentioned that they absolutely do not want any in-send traffic from you? They were lying. They really don't care whether the traffic you give them is in-send or not. They just like to make a lot of demands to feel important. After all, who cares about ROI on VC cash? It's like play money. You know how the UA manager also mentioned that they only want to run their campaign in the US? Again, they're just being picky to try to feel important. You can send them a bunch of Chinese traffic if you want. The only metric that matters is DAU, and as long as it's going up and to the right, you won't have any problems. UA managers are really terrible at understanding what ads work. Sometimes you'll get an ad from a UA manager that showcases the game, almost as if they're intentionally trying to only appeal to people that would really like the game. Idiots! Feel free to edit the creatives you get to optimize for clicks. If you really want to pour some jet fuel into a campaign, run forced redirects on the mobile web. UA managers think it's awesome when their game is associated with spammy ad formats. And those handful of killjoys that leave one-star reviews on the game because they're annoyed that their browser got hijacked, who cares? Reviews don't matter. Clicks matter. Don't worry if you don't have enough traffic to fulfill a campaign promise. You don't have to. Did you know that you can buy traffic from another network and have them run your client's ad? It's a neat little productivity hack, and your client won't care because, hey, you got them inventory. Up and to the right. Just don't mention the 30% markup. Metrics. Who needs them? What is this, the math club? If your client asks for a report about campaign performance, just dump some unintelligible numbers into an Excel and send it over. Better yet, paste them unformatted into an email. Sometimes a UA manager with their unreasonable expectations will get a little angry when you deliver 500 installs for their $10,000 test budget. As much as it shouldn't matter what the quality of your company's service is, UA managers can make a big deal over poor performance and claim they'll never work with your network again. But there's a solution. Just change jobs.